Hi, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Health by M, the podcast with me, Mathilde. And I am finally back. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that the reason why there was no episode last week was because I got sick. I was in LA and I thought I just got a regular, urinary infection, but then I started to feel really, really bad. I didn't suffer that much at first, and it was fine. But then I got a fever, and I started to just feel really, really sick. So I had to go to the doctor, and they told me it was really good that I came in because the infection had spread to my kidneys. And I had to go on really strong antibiotics. I had to get like an antibiotic shot in my hip. And it's been a bit of a challenge since, actually. At first I thought it was going to be, fine and just be over in a few days. But the fact is that I got so exhausted. I felt really bad. And at first I had to wake up in the middle of the night to take the antibiotics because I had to take them every 6 hours. And it might not sound that difficult. I know if you have kids and so on, you're used to waking up all the time and several times every night. But for me, like being sick and in pain and then have to set an alarm at 4:30 every morning to take these pills and at the same time try to go on with my life. I had to travel back from LA to New York and I had a lot of things to do. It was too much. And to be honest, I felt really bad that I didn't release an episode last week. And in one way, I was just like, oh my God, people are going to survive. It's not that I have half of the world listening to this podcast, but I do really want to stay loyal and I really want to be consistent and I want to show up. And I appreciate every single one of you so much. And the same with my members at the retreat. I don't have a ton, but I really want to take care of the ones that I have and release the new content and be engaged on Instagram and show up. And I just couldn't. And like I said, at first I felt really bad. I felt really stressed. Also, I've been traveling to Miami, New York, LA, and I've been working a lot. So in one way, it's not surprising that I probably had a lower immune system, I think. But at the same time, I also have so much content to share. I have so many things I want to put out there. So I just felt really stressed. And I was like, oh, but I have to do this anyway. But then sometimes if you don't take breaks, the body will make sure that you do anyway. And this really showed me that, yeah, it's okay. I just have to take some time off. And it's actually been, even though it's been challenging, I have been realizing a lot of things. And that's just what I want to share this week. I had something else planned, but I'm going to postpone that a little bit more because I just felt that it's important to share what I have discovered. And like I said, it's so true that if we don't take care of ourselves and if we just go and never stop and take breaks, it will happen automatically because we can't push ourselves too much. At some point, we just need to take some time off. And I believe it's necessary in order to show up better and to actually create value and do a good job. But it is really hard. It's easier said than done because, at least for me, it's so... I love my job. I love to work, but it's really hard sometimes to take my own advice. And I've definitely realized that these past few weeks that I can't just talk to others, and recommend certain practices and health tools and so on. I need to actually do them myself. And I have been doing it. That's all the things I'm sharing. Those are things that I'm trying out and working with myself because I do think it's important to share genuine recommendations that actually work for me. I would never share anything that doesn't really work for me, or just because it's a trend or whatever. Like, everything I'm recommending, they are my genuine recommendations. But at the same time, it's also really easy to just get caught in this hamster wheel and this stress of posting, delivering, creating new content, creating new services and products, and engaging with customers and so on. At least it has been for me. And it's something that I realized these past couple of weeks. And it's also so interesting, like when you get sick, it's so fascinating how much you appreciate your health. Like, it's so easy to forget, and it's so easy to take for granted once we have it and once we are feeling good and healthy. But yeah, like, the only thing I wished for was to feel better. And it's crazy how fast that can change, and how like all of a sudden something can happen and you think it's, you don't think it's that severe or like serious, but then you realize that, oh, okay, this can actually be quite damaging. Like, it's just fascinating how fragile I think life is. I mean, it's not that I was like dead sick, so don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I was like, I haven't been this sick in a long time, and I just feel like it wasn't just a common cold. I mean, like, the kidneys are quite important, and yeah, I just have a lot of respect for that and the body and everything, and I'm trying so hard to take care of myself all the time. So it just felt really scary in one way when I realized that it was much, much worse than I thought. So that was definitely something I thought about. And I've also been, just noticing how I have been pushing myself a lot recently. I have done some incredibly fun, but also very demanding work projects. And I definitely see that I have gone a little bit too like far and beyond. I've definitely been overworking, and I realized that I can't do that anymore. Like, it's not worth it in the end if you become so exhausted and so like run down that you get sick, and it's never worth it. Like, the health is the most important thing, and it's such a cliche, and you hear it so many times and so often. And like I said, you don't really think about it once you are healthy and well, but when you get sick, it's like, whew, nothing else matters. The most important thing we have is our health. So it's definitely something I'm going to think about from now on. I definitely feel that I got, like, this happened for a reason. Like, I think that with everything. And I can see that I had to learn some really valuable lessons from this. One is that I have to take more time off and to take more time to prioritize my own health. It all starts with ourselves. If we don't take care of ourselves, we cannot show up to others. It's just that simple. And yeah, like I said, it's easy sometimes to just keep going and keep pushing and just get caught in this stress and hamster wheel of doing and performing. But it's so important to take time off. So I have been trying to meditate more, go to a cafe and read a book and just sleep and rest. And it feels really weird in the beginning, especially when you've been in a period of a lot of work and late night and emails all the time and, like, so much work and stress. It feels so weird to just don't be on Instagram, to don't answer your emails immediately. But it's been very necessary. And it's definitely something that I want to keep doing, and I'm going to keep scheduling this. And another thing that I realized is that, so now I've been traveling a lot, and when I'm in a different time zone, I often get stressed about not being able to answer emails in the morning, like right away, or when people in Europe email me and I'm in the US, I often wake up stressed and feel like, I have so many emails to go through and so on. I mean, and something that I realized was that it's okay not to answer everything immediately. It's okay to take some time off and focus on you first. And I know this is like common sense for most of you, but it was actually something that I also realized on the plane going to the US from Europe this time. I had been kind of beating myself up a little bit before about me not doing my morning routine that I wanted to. It's not a long routine, but I just felt that I had fallen out of my practices. I really wanted to go up and make my matcha, do a little workout, meditate, and I mean, just do that like simple, easy routine that I always love to do. But I just could, like this year, I really been struggling. And what I realized was I actually did a hypnosis on myself. I think it's one, I think you can find it here in the podcast. And I did the hypnosis and I realized this, that it's not that I haven't been disciplined enough. It's that I have been people pleasing and I didn't prioritize my own morning and my own routine and my own wellness and health. But instead, I felt the need to, as soon as I woke up, jump on my email and answer people and, always be there and always be accessible. And then I realized that it has to stop. And I know maybe I'm just like talking out loud and this makes perfect sense for some of you, but maybe there are some of you who can relate to this, that it's sometimes expected of us to be available 24/7, especially with social media. We're traveling, we're in different time zones, and I mean, especially with Instagram, people ask you questions and contact you there, and it's actually work, but in one way, even on social media, we're expected to answer and always be there, but in fact, it's work, and we have to, especially if we're solo entrepreneurs or like running our own businesses, we have to be our own boss there and just set limits and set those boundaries, so we don't overwork ourselves. So yeah, that's just another thing I've been thinking about. And yeah, like I said, it's been interesting to take this time off. I mean, it's not that I've been off for years. It's been like 2 weeks or something. But for me, it's been different. And it's been both hard, but also like with every setback and everything, I think there's so much growth and so many lessons to learn. So in one way, I have tried to embrace this and wouldn't say enjoy it, but like make the best out of it and be curious about, oh, okay, what's the universe trying to tell me and teach me now? Like, what is the purpose with this? Because I do believe even in the hardest times and experiences, there's always something to learn. At least we know that for sure. Sometimes we can't see the good with things, but there will always be something to learn. And I can definitely see that this happened for a reason. And hopefully I can use these lessons and take them into my life and integrate them into my business and create something more consciously and really keep these in mind. And like I said, like the number one thing I'll try to do from now on is to focus more on my health and wellness, because I do see that I forgot that this year. I've been focusing a lot on giving and giving and giving to others, providing services, content, and so on, but I haven't really been prioritizing myself. So I'm gonna meditate, I'm gonna read, I'm gonna do things that I enjoy, and I'm really looking forward to it. And for the first time in a long time, I do feel that I don't have that much resistance to it anymore. I don't know if it has to do with just general growth and insight from this year, or that it has to do with the fact that I realized that, not to sound too dramatic, but I realized that life is short, unexpected things can happen, and like, why wait doing the things that you want? Like we have to really fill each day with the things that we love, because we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm really looking forward to doing this. I'm actually going to plan a nice spa day at my favorite spa quite soon. I am treating myself with good food and, like I said, also doing things just because they're fun, nothing to perform, nothing to learn, nothing to just like enjoy myself. I think that's extremely underrated, and it's something I have had to learn a lot. And therefore, I really want to encourage you to maybe do the same and just reflect on how you are doing with this in your life. Are you prioritizing your wellness, your passions, and things that you love to do? I will actually go back to my own content and my own practices even more, and I will do more of the things that I share on the retreat, my membership platform. Also, I just want to share that with you as well, because I feel like after this, those things and those practices feel more important than ever to me. So if you want to try the retreat, I actually decided to share a unique discount code with you all. It's Mathilde Friends. I'm going to spell it out in the show notes, but my name and friends in one word, and it will give you 1 month off, 1 month for free, because I just realized that we all need all the tools and practices and help that we can get. And it's so important to prioritize all of this and to have a practice and have something that makes it easier, especially when we are struggling or when we are in a challenging time, when we're sick, when we need it. We have to have something that makes it easy and enjoyable and inspiring. So yeah, I just want to share that with you and give you that little offer if you want to try it out. And like I mentioned before, I'm currently in New York and I will stay here for a little while. I will share more about the event and the trips, and I have so much to share, but I feel like I can't stress about it. And yeah, it's gonna come out, and when the time is right. And there's so much I want to give to you. I have so many tips. I have so much content and recommendations and new things to share within Health by M. But it's gonna all come out this fall when it's ready and when it's meant to come. And I do believe that I have to still take some time to recover and take it slow and easy. I hope that you will do the same, even though I feel like fall is always quite a stressful period and there's so much that like quote unquote has to be done before Christmas and so on. And for some reason, I believe that at least I have always looked at fall as the longest period of time, and there's so much time and there's so much to do. But in fact, like this season is so short. Like Christmas is like, I don't know, in what, like 2 months? And it's, I think it's quite common to just stress and overwork quite a lot this time of the year. So again, I really encourage you to maybe do the opposite. Embrace this colder, darker season and slow down rather than speed up. That's definitely something I'm gonna do. And I think also it's good sometimes to take a step back or pause and just reflect on things. And actually today I had such an amazing day. This was like the first day that I've been able to go out and do something. I have been on like walks and I've been running some errands, but this was like my first so-called like work day, and I've been to the Sakara Summit conference here in New York, and it was so inspiring, so good. I met so many lovely people, inspiring speakers, and I just had the best day. And we talked about conscious content creation, among other things, and it just hit me how important it is to take some time and reflect and take that little pause and moment to just analyze yourself, your life, your business, and so on, in order to actually move forward with more conscious. Because I think it's so easy that we just keep going, and we also look at others. other people in the business, industry, competitors, and so on. And we just get caught in this stress of creating new things and delivering and giving, and I don't know. And then we kind of lose the consciousness about it. We lose what actually matters, and we lose our why. And I think I see that often, and it's like also within myself and the things I'm doing. Sometimes I'm like, wait, why am I even doing this? Why am I sharing? What's the purpose? Why? Like, it's so important to go back to that. And I think maybe fall is actually the time to analyze and question a lot within yourself and your life and your business. And it's so good to do that, because we can't just keep running and going unless we know where we're going. Like, we have to have that direction first, and then we can keep going. And we need to just check in with ourselves several times a year, maybe even every month, and just be like, okay, where am I going? And do I want to go there? Like, what's my path? Where am I? And so on. It's definitely underrated, and it's something that I've forgotten to do. So that's just another little insight and thing that I will try to do more of from now on. All right, I feel like I've been talking so much now already. I don't know if anything makes sense, but if it does, please let me know. Please let me know if you can relate. Maybe you've experienced something similar. I would love to hear any tips from you on how to slow down and how to do these things during fall and winter, and how things are going in your life. I would love to connect with you. So please comment, send me a message on Instagram, Health by M. Do share this episode with someone else you think might like it if you want that. And yeah, just check out the retreat if you want to try some practices within holistic health. The retreat is my membership platform. And like I said, if you use the code Mathilde Friends, one word, you can try it for free for 1 month. And I'm doing this now just exclusively for a little while, because I really know how important all those practices and tools are. So take care of yourselves, and then I'll be back next week with another episode. The retreat is updated this week. We have a new favorite recipe. And I hope that you will have a great week ahead. Stay healthy, and I'll be back soon. Bye.